Um, Hello, everyone. Again, Casilda Maxwell here, and here again with a word, um, a revelation from a dream that I had. And at first, I was just kind of interpreting the dream for myself, and God told me to share it. And this is also for someone else. And so um, here we go. And I hope that this does bless someone. I know, you know, um, this is my second post of just kind of revelations from God and what he's saying to me and what I'm studying or how he's leading me. And so I had this dream, which was like really weird to me, but I was with my cousin, my my younger, he's only a year younger than me, but I was with my cousin and we pretty much see ourselves as like brother and sister because we went to all the schools together and everything. We kind of just grew up together. And so we're really close and we don't get a chance to hang out much because we live in different states and everything. So here in my dream, we went to I think we went with like in like Puerto Rico or Mexico or like Cuba, somewhere like an island type place. And that's the only thing I could really think of because I was thinking about like the colors. So and I know I recently went to Puerto Rico, so the dream was probably Puerto Rico. And I was trying to show him around and we were trying to get downtown to like eat and some other things. And I really wanted to show him around downtown before it got dark. And so we had to go from leaving our like Airbnb to deciding if we were going to catch an Uber or rent a car. And then we decided against catching an Uber. And then we decided to rent a car. And so in this whole process, it's just kind of like trying to get to the car so we can get downtown. Um, he kept getting distracted by like every step, every place that we went, he was distracted. And it was just like he went and as we were sitting there talking, just the fact that like we couldn't decide if we were going to get an Uber or drive a car ourselves, right? Like typically when he and I hang out, like we're planners, stuff already happens, right? And so then from there, it was he got distracted with in the convenience store. He got distracted with um talking to the person about renting the car and getting into conversations that were just like pointless conversations. I'm waiting for him. And the interesting thing was I was waiting for him patiently. And for me, after a while, after you keep stopping when we're trying to get somewhere and it's getting dark, I'm gonna be like, are we going or not? So he is getting distracted with every step of the way, every like level we went, because then it was weird because we had to go down, then we had to go all the way up, and we had to go to the rooftop, and on the rooftop was like a workout, and then like he got distracted with just like watching people work out, and he got distracted with like we had to go to like some random apartment, and like he got distracted by like talking to people in the hallways, and it was just like these conversations were pointless conversations. It wasn't like, oh wow, he was learning something new. It was like conversations that made no sense. And so when I woke up, because we finally got to the car, and when I looked at the horizon, since we were on the rooftop, when I looked at the horizon, it was like by the time we get downtown, because you could see the path to get downtown, but by the time we would get down there, it would be dark. And it was, to me, it was like, well, that's not a problem. We can just travel around, but you won't be able to see. It was like I wouldn't be able to see the path there. I wouldn't be able to see then all that we could see along the way, right? Like all the things that we could see. Because if you've never been there, like I wanted to show him all these like different buildings, but like it would make no sense to just kind of now go all the way downtown and not see the process, not see the path, right? And so when I woke up, I was like, wow, no, that was really weird. And so I recorded it. And so later on, I'm like praying about it and asking God to interpret it for me. And he's telling me, don't get distracted by the insignificant things. Don't get distracted by the unnecessary things that are happening in my life. I'm a person who wants control. I'm a person who like wants to know how things are every step of the way. Even though to this day, I still, of course, we're not going to know that, right? It's still something that like it's always a walk of faith when you're following God and his direction and hearing from him. And so I had noticed that I had been getting distracted by things that were unnecessary, that were not important, that were trivial things, right? And so some people like, well, yeah, you should like pay attention to these things, but to get downtown or to just even start your journey. And God right now has me in this transition of starting like a new chapter in my life. And I was getting overwhelmed with things, but I was getting overwhelmed with things that really did not matter at that time. And so, they're not going to matter literally within like a month as I'm continuing on this journey. And so I think when I look at, and I'm a psychologist, and so being a psychologist and working with clients, I begin to see this theme also with my clients, where there's a sense of we are getting distracted with unnecessary things that really are not important, unimportant, um, unnecessary situations, conversations. And that is like Satan's plan is to distract us. His goal is to completely distract you from getting to one, your purpose, right? You know, God wants you to go somewhere downtown and to feast with him, right? Because we're going to go eat, commune. And then oftentimes there is a process. There are things that he wants us to learn along the way. He wants us to see, he wants us to experience. There is a path that he wants us to take. When we are distracted, we won't be able to experience the beauty of things. We won't be able to experience the lessons that we need to learn. We won't be able to see the path clearly. We will be walking, driving, running in the dark. And then when we get there, we can get lost. Because why? Because we can't see everything that we are supposed to see. And especially when he has you on a new path. And oftentimes walking by faith is truly walking a new experience. So you're taking turns, you're listening to the GPS, you've been in a place that you've never been before. And you need to listen to the GPS and you need to follow instructions. You can see and experience the things that God has you learning. And if you're keeping your eye on him, and if you're keeping your ear inclined to him. And so I just wanted to share that quick message, that quick tidbit that like, we are getting distracted by unimportant, unnecessary things in our lives, which will distort, cloud, darken. It will, put a veil over our eyes where we cannot see clearly where we're going or we cannot hear clearly. And so I encourage you to really look at and pay attention and be mindful of the things that you're giving your attention to. so that you're not giving your attention to unnecessary things and being distracted from the things of God. I know that just even speaking this is still speaking to me, as I'm speaking to you as we continue this journey. And in the times that we are in, we have so many things distracting us. It is crying for our attention. So I encourage you to lean in to God, lean in to his voice, lean into him, because he is going to be that bright light in the path to your purpose and where he wants you to be in the midst of all the distractions, all the things that's going on around you. He is going to be a clear path for you. So be blessed and see you next time.